Hello, hello, hello. Hey, friends. If you're here watching this replay, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Svava Brooks, and I love to hang out here Tuesdays and Thursdays with my friends, fellow survivor thrivers, as we work our way through my book, Releasing Your Authentic Self, one day, one page at a time. So if you're watching the replay, you'll see that we are going to spend a few minutes catching up, connecting, see how everybody's doing, and then we will dive deep into the topic of today, which is, are you stuck in survival mode? I didn't know. I was stuck in survival mode for a long time, and I used to beat myself up for it. But then I learned why, and that I could do something about it. And so please reach out if you're looking for more support. Please visit my website, svavabrooks.com. And of course, if you're here with me live, right here, right now, please say hello so I can welcome you. Good to be here with you, my friends. How are you? How are we doing? I see you, Rob. I see you, EJ. How are you guys? I saw that you were out and about today. Rob, you were out and about in the lockdown over in UK. Glad to see that you're getting out. I got out for a morning walk today in between the showers. It's definitely feeling very much like fall here in Portland, Oregon. I got some of my wool sweaters out, got my wool socks on, doing whatever I can to stay and keep warm. Don't mind the cold actually, but nice to have those layers to put on. EJ, I got out before today's showers. Good for you. Yes, I went out with Sabrina, my daughter, and the new puppy. We are out walking the new puppy. There's nothing like a little puppy, is there? He's a handful. He's a handful. I was watching him for about an hour last night, maybe a little bit longer, giving Serena and her boyfriend a little break because they are starting to look like new parents. They're tired. So me and puppy Cosmo got to play last night, and I love it. Brings out my inner child. I was on the floor playing with the puppy, and for a while trying to keep him from running after the cats, right? I tried to put the cats away, and that worked for a while. And then I don't know what Penny's problem is. It's like sometimes he's testing boundaries. I was trying to keep Cosmo away from him. That's his name. I'm going to have to post a picture. I said I was going to do that last week. I thought I'd done that already. He is adorable. What is he, 11 weeks? So cute. And he's the smart one. He is super smart. They've been teaching him all kinds of tricks. So I'm doing okay. Exactly, EJ. Yes. Exactly. No, I knew what I was getting myself into. I had treats, I had some toys, but what was most interesting to him was the cat scratching post. He was all over that thing. So I had him chase himself, just run around that in circles for a while. So that burned up some energy. But when I sent the puppy back to his parents, I'm like, yeah, no more puppies. And I'm glad my kids are grown up. I don't have that kind of energy forever. So, but it's fun. Yeah, exactly. Yes. But Sabrina also has a cat, and so he's getting used to being a cat with a cat, but he still, I think, hasn't learned that all cats aren't the same. So Junebug, Sabrina's cat, is okay with dogs. She grew up with dogs. So she lets him run around her and just kind of smacks him every now and then. You are funny, EJ. Yeah, that new cat smell. No, not a new cat smell, a new puppy smell. You guys are funny. You guys are funny. So you guys are in good spirits today? To the puppy. Okay, got it. Okay, got it. Got it. Got it. But otherwise I'm doing good. So you guys sound like you're in good spirit over there. So that's good. That's good. Our topic today, right? We're going to talk about being in survival mode. And don't take it as a bad thing at all. Survival mode, actually, right? It's a good thing that our body can kick in and get into survival mode. That is how our body, keeps us safe and kicks into gear if it has to. Hey, Tracy, welcome. Better than last night. Good. Good. So you guess that's okay. Yes. Yes. So we are going to talk a little bit about being in survival mode, and I'm going to touch upon it a little bit from a few different sides. And also to invite you guys to notice, to maybe use this time while we're here together to notice, like, what's going on with your body as we are having these conversations. So, nope. Crazy cat next to me watched Star Trek. It was about post-traumatic growth, lost identity, and connection. Loved it. Yeah. There you go, Rob. We start to see those trauma stories, those hero stories everywhere. Everywhere. The more we learn about trauma, we learn about, right, these bodies and hard feelings. And life is hard, right? So sorry, guys. Life is hard. But what we are doing on this journey is to recognize that maybe our window of tolerance and our ability to self-regulate has been diminished because of trauma. So when we start out, our window of tolerance is here, right? And I don't want to say anybody is normal and has lots of bandwidth and capacity for self-regulation or to handle, the big swings of up and down in life. But we are learning. We are learning. And as we are learning about the body, as we are learning about our nervous system and learning about how can we help this body, I want to invite you to pay attention to how you're feeling right here, right now, as we are having this conversation. We are starting up here just with the visit and checking in with each other. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Feels pretty light, right? We can do this. I'm feeling safe. I'm feeling grounded. And just notice if we start to talk more about this and if it brings up some tension in your body, then just make a note of it. Make a note of it. Hey, Tracy, you feel really anxious. And your body is saying, EJ, not going there. Thanks for being transparent, my friends. Thank you for being honest and sharing so authentically how you're feeling right here, right now. Hey, Lady Leo. Hey, friend. Yes, hopefully we can. Hopefully we can. Well, with that, I actually want to start with, are you coming up here? I think Kevin is coming for a visit. You coming? Yeah, come on then. Come on. Yeah, you want to say hi? Speaking of cats and dogs, huh? This is Kevin. You gonna say hi? You say hi? Huh? You say hi? No? Sometimes when I'm trying to work, he comes and wants to sit with me. I will sometimes open up a small window for him where there's birds, these YouTube channels that have videos for cats, and that's it. Now he's gone. So he'll sit here or on the table and watch bird videos. Like he'll go, like move around like that. And it brings me joy to see him watch videos. So you may hear him. He's complaining. He's ready for his next meal. He's a little confused. I think he's confused that I'm home all the time now, right? He's like, she's here. She must be here to feed me, right? I think it was Sue who posted in our Journey to the Heart group the cartoon about the cats, right? He is God, or they are. I'm just here to serve, right? Yeah, see, he's getting louder. Getting louder. So try to tune that out. But glad we had a little visit with Kevin. But where I was before Kevin decided to come visit was to start with a little grounding tool, a little help for our nervous system. So, hey, Elizabeth, welcome. So anyone who'd like to join me, I'm trying to push my chair back a little bit so you can see me here. I'm going to hold my hands up in front. I got my feet flat on the floor. If I had them crossed, I've uncrossed my legs. I'm grounded. I'm feeling my feet on the ground right here. I'm lifting up my hands. I'm crossing my hands over and I'm laying them just below my shoulders. Just below my shoulders here. I'm going to assume you guys are following along. And then I'm going to tap back and forth here slowly, like 8 or 10 times. So if you're feeling there's a little tension in your chest or your back, or you have butterflies, or feeling a little anxious, give it a try. Give it a try, my friends. And we're going to do this 3 times. And then I'm going to do it again, dropping my arms, my hands here just below my shoulders. And tapping back and forth here 8 to 10 times. Dropping my hands back down here on my lap. Just notice if there's any subtle shifts in your body. Last time. Right? You guys know I love to empower you with the tools that you need to help you reconnect with your body, to heal and restore our body, mind, and spirit. And here for the last time now, I drop my hands on my lap. I'm not going to take a deep breath. And now I'm doing a little check-in with you guys again. Did you notice anything shift? Did you notice any shift? Any of you that recognized when you came on that maybe you felt a little anxious? Maybe a lot of energy flying around in your body? right? This uncertainty that we are dealing with as a collective, it's constantly running here in the background. Beautiful, Rob says. A little shift, says Tracy. Freaked out even more. It's why I can't connect most of the time. I hear you, EJ. Here, my friend. I am putting one hand here and the other on my shoulder. So if even that was too much for you, EJ, then grab yourself tight. Hold yourself tight, my friend. For some, this helps us to relax. But for some, if this brings us right into a state that we are not familiar with, it can trigger us. It can trigger us. So here, I had one hand, my hand underneath my arm and the other one over my shoulder, and I'm holding tight. So try that. Try that, EJ. Try that, my friend. Try that, my friend. And there was another thing I was going to suggest. The other thing that is very helpful when we're in a state that we feel it's hard for us to shake is to stand up and do. I'm laughing at Kevin. He's really causing a stir right now. He knows he's the troublemaker. I forgot to bring the spray water bottle with me. Sometimes I do that when I'm on a call. I'm like, Kevin, stop. So what I was saying is that if you are feeling like you're having a hard time shifting, to stand up and do like 8 squats, right? Do squats. I'm lifting up and down my shoulders, but when we bend our knees and go up and down, right? I'm doing that with I'm doing squats with my hands. I'm not going to stand up and do squats for you. But when we, right, bend our knees and stand up and bend our knees and stand up, it can sometimes be what we need to shift our state, right? Because there is a state there that has kind of hijacked you for the moment. So, and the very last suggestion here for you, any of you, if you start to do something that helps you to down regulate and it triggers something, do your best to come to your senses, meaning use all your senses. Look around. What am I seeing? What am I hearing? What am I smelling? What am I tasting? And what am I feeling here on my skin? So I hope you are doing okay, EJ. Sharon, my friend, having difficulty. Oh, I'm sorry, my friend. You are completely hijacked. Lucky to breathe. Keep breathing. Yes. And if you can, as you notice your breath, if you can slow your exhale, slow down your exhale, right? Inhale, maybe on 5, hold for 2 to 3 counts, and then if you can exhale on counting to 6 or 7, that helps the nervous system to slow down, slows down the heart rate. And of course, my favorite tool is this one here. Hand on my heart, hand on my body, And I whisper quietly to this body that is working so hard for me, always doing the best it can. I let it know I am here, I am here, I am here for you. I hear you, I feel you, I see you. We need these bodies, right? Need to work with them. So survival mode, what is that? What is that? So just to set up our conversation here, right? When we are abused as children or neglected and we don't get the care and the nurturing we need as children, it creates struggle in our lives. And for most kids growing up, if we don't get our needs met, we come up with stories about that somehow we weren't good enough, we didn't do it right, we must try harder, I had to be perfect, I had to work harder, right? And this, and we feel shame and guilt for not being good enough, for not being good enough for my parents' love and care and support. And so all this, shame and guilt that we feel actually keeps us stuck in the survival mode. It activates the nervous system, right? Pushes you up into fight or flight or freeze. And for a lot of us, we were stuck in freeze because there was no way out. We were dependent on our caregivers, right? So when this realization, right, came to me, I was like, wow, that makes sense. Makes sense. And at the same time, then it makes sense that because of the high tension, fear, shame I grew up with, and the tension and anxiety in my body, I was constantly caught in the loop between my lizard brain, right, and my limbic brain, my emotional brain. With rarely did I get access to my prefrontal cortex. So I struggled with learning. I struggled with emotional development. I struggled with, social skills. And so for a lot of us, and this was a realization and it contributed to the shame and the guilt and the brokenness that I felt like I felt stupid. Everybody else seems to have figured this life thing out, but yet I was like stuck in this same pattern of very much in a survival mode and stuck in a coping strategy, really, where I took on a role of being a people pleaser. I'm, Little Miss Perfect. I will work my tail off to please everyone. I'll do whatever you need to do. I won't even ask or think about what I need. It was exhausting. And yes, it can be exhausting for a long time. And then we have our bodies and our nervous system that are kind of habitually stuck in this mode. And so as we are learning, my sweet, sweet friends, about our bodies, about our nervous system, and what it is that we can to help it, learn how to come out of survival mode, right? And to give ourselves the grace and the kindness and the time that we need. It takes time. It takes time. I'm glad you stopped by, Sharon. We'll be thinking of you, my friend. I give myself permission to be me. Yes, Elizabeth. Yes, Elizabeth. Yes. So, few things that we can do, right, to help ourselves shift out of survival mode. And I get it, Rob. You felt today happy doing what you were doing with no pressure. Exactly. What joy is it, right? It's like, okay, what do I want to do? What do I need? What brings me joy? What makes me feel good? If that's all you do and take care of yourself and make sure you're getting enough food and sleep, right? Water, exercise, you're good. You're good. You're doing great. You're doing great. So, again, just that little exercise that we did, we just tapped into a little bit of edge of helping the nervous system, like, just take it down one notch, right? And that's how we heal. Because if we go from here to here and like that, our nervous system struggles with it a lot. Because there's a lot of patterns, habits, beliefs, thoughts, community, friends, relationships. It's all tied together and how we've learned to be. So to start small is better, right? Just a tiny little, okay, I have a little more room to breathe, a little more space to breathe. Some days that inner critic will just attack whatever you do right. Exactly. That's it. That's it. That inner critic has partnered up with this body. Like, we got to keep the pressure on, right? We don't want to let up. We got to make sure we got this locked down on keeping you safe. So don't rock the boat. Don't change the story. Don't change your thinking, right? This is hardwired. We've literally been, like, we got some big muscles working here, keeping these the same way. So to shift it and to create a new possibility, a new way for us to be, it is better for this body to go slow, to go super slow. Like, yeah, just drop down a tiny little bit at a time. Tiny little bit at a time. And we do that by being intentional about using a practice, or just some of the things that I shared here in the beginning. Each of those can help us. And again, that's why, right, healing is a daily practice. Healing is a daily practice, right? My authentic self, I am not my fear. I am not my horrible thoughts about myself. I am not my anxiety. I am not my depression. I am not the abuse that I suffered. Right? I am not the coping strategies that I took on because that's what I saw in my environment growing up. I'm none of that. Right? And so when we can come into our bodies grounded, present, in our lives here and now, then we get to decide, okay, if I'm not any of that, then who am I? Who am I? And a good way, good strategy to silence that inner critic is becoming the parent that you needed, that you reparent yourself, right? Now that you've learned some things about your body, about your nervous system, about your needs, about feelings, and about the importance to take care of yourself. And so when you start to choose some of the things now that you're an adult, and the inner critic or your nervous system or any other part of you pushes back on the things that you are now choosing to do for yourself, you act and connect with that part from your heart-centered adult self and say, hey, sweet friend, hey, little boy, hey, little girl, Hey, sweet body. Hey, inner critic. I hear you. I see you. But you know what? I got this. I'm here today. Today, I'm taking responsibility for this body, for creating the life that I want now. Right? And that's how we do it. Just like training that puppy. Feels a lot like that sometimes. Elizabeth says here, I carried the burden of generational trauma and it was exhausting. No one deserves that. I hear you, Elizabeth. Absolutely. And that's the other thing for us to consider, right? We are doing the hard work of healing ourselves. And then sometimes we recognize, wait a minute, this has been passed down multiple generations. And it helps to acknowledge that. It helps to acknowledge that. No, you're not broken. No, you're not. Some of the stuff that you are carrying isn't even yours. No one deserves it. It ends here. That's right. It ends here. And whatever you heal here impacts past generations and future generations. I can tell you about some interesting healing sessions that I've had where I feel that my past generations showed up to thank me. So the two questions that we asked today: in what ways are you still in survival mode? And if you could stop struggling in survival mode, what would your life look like? And that's the other thing that is so powerful. And yeah, not always easy, right? We are so focused on what we don't want, that is what we're hardwired to kind of playing over and over and over in our minds and in our thoughts. But to consider, right? What would my life be without this struggle, right? And that was hard in the beginning. I had no idea. And even considering the possibility that I could let myself dream and wish and want, that felt a little scary too in the beginning. So Lady Leo shares with us her thoughts. She says, when it comes to relationships, I think I'm still in survival mode. I find myself living in my head a lot when it comes to friendships. I'm always worried that I'll do something that will cause people to walk out of my life. I hear you, friend. Although those thoughts still come up, I am able to calm those feelings and fears. It's also not as frequent now. If I could step out of survival mode when it comes to relationships, I may find it easier to accept an intimate relationship, which would mean I am learning to trust myself more. Beautiful. Beautiful, Lady Leo. Great awareness, my friend. Can you guys relate to Lady Leo here about worrying that we'll do something that will make people walk out of our lives? Like the thinking always going on in the back of our mind, well, you may say that now, but if you really got to know me, I don't think you'll stick around. Anyone else? Can anyone else relate to that? Yeah. Yes. I hear you. You are not alone. Thank you, Tracy. Tracy, been asking that and you cannot answer. Were you referring to asking for shifting the focus from what you don't want to what you do want? I understand. And there again, it's good to start small. Start small. Start small. Because again, if we, push too far too quick, this body and this mind will shut it down. So just a little bit. We just put our toe outside of our comfort zone. One little toe at a time. That's right, Elizabeth. Everybody here is doing a beautiful job. It takes courage, my friend, to show up here for this conversation. It takes courage to be here. These conversations are not easy. So the fact you're here, sharing, communicating, right? I take my hat off to you. I see you, hear you, and respect you. Deep, deep respect, my friends. So thank you, Lady Leo. Rob, can I share your comment? You're welcome, Elizabeth. Rob, can I share your comment? Taking a sip of my tea while I'm waiting for Rob. And also, my friends, if you have any questions, thank you, about healing or looking for support, please let us know. Let me know. I'm happy to see if I can help you out or answer your question or find you a resource. So that's what we're here for. Rob says today, I definitely am in survival mode regarding confrontation, arguments, and disagreements. I end up shaking and adrenaline overload leading to isolation. So that impacts how I interact, who with and where I go. But this community has been so helpful and supportive, so I can connect with really nice people, talented and caring people who have been a guiding light to what life could be like. I guess gaining the confidence to have a local group and hobbies would lead to having the local cohort, which mirrors my gang on here. But boy, you people set a high bar. Thanks for the messaging and talking and helping me out. Yes, Rob. Yes, Rob. Hey, Lynn, welcome, friend. And that's exactly it, Rob. We want to recognize, wait a minute, these open and honest conversations, that's what I want in my life. That is what I want from my friendships. We don't have to be talking about trauma all the time. But yeah, I want to have real conversations. I want to start with, how are you doing? No, how are you really doing? Right? And if we can talk about how we're really doing, then we can relax, right? Then we don't have to arm ourselves up in survival mode. Okay, if I say this, are they going to judge me? Or if I say this or that or whatever, am I going to get kicked out? If they really get to know me and my struggles and what's going on with me, right? So yes, I would love for you guys, for all of us, to be able to take these kind of conversation into all of our relationships. Because the loneliness in the world, the suffering, the hurt in the world, it's because we have no one to talk to about what's really going on. We can all play nice. Most of us are exceptional at that. And bending over backwards, right, for other people. And then we're just like, right? And yes, I can say it was also hard in the beginning because I had been really good at like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. I know, Lynn. But so when people, wanted to be real with me in the beginning, I'm like, what's up with you? No, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to hear about that. But slowly over time, right, we recognize, I just want to be me and see who shows up. Most of us here, we're an acquired taste. And hey, you don't like hanging out with me, it's okay. It's all right. I'm not going to take it personally. I enjoy my company. I do. So, you want to play? Sure. But I like us to be real. Yeah. Honesty and empathy instead of sadism. People who enjoy it when you struggle. I know, Elizabeth, I'm sorry. A special brand of arsenic tea. You are funny. Yes, Lady Leo. Rob, you've gotten great support from this group this week. That's awesome. That's awesome, Rob. That's it. This is it, my friends. This is how we go out and we create the family and the community that we need, right? Right? For years, I was a long way from home, long way from family. I created my own family. I found connection and support. Slowly but surely. But for most of my life, my people have been survivors, right? Survivors on the journey with similar interests and similar stages, meaning like parenting or work as an advocate or into different things. So, new chapter for the book of my life, the empath and the sniper. Oh my God, Lynn, you are so funny. Yes, you're a riot. You are a riot. And so, yes, we talked about the need to support our nervous system, right? To come out of survival mode, because that's where it starts. It starts with our nervous system. It starts with how we've had to keep our body safe. Your body doesn't even ask you. It just does it. And for most of us, it started when we're young. Been doing that for a long time. So recognizing how can I help my body? How can I shift my state with some breathing, some tapping, some mindfulness, and then recognize, right? How can I become the parent and the protector? How can I become the friend that I always needed and wanted, right? How can I become the person who, right, doesn't judge, who makes people feel safe and comfortable, right? There you go. I enjoy people drinking from big mugs. Cheers. Cheers. The energy is starting to calm down. Yes, Lynn, it is. So, becoming the parent, becoming the friend, and right, and a lot of it, learning to trust ourselves, trusting what we are feeling, sensing, needing, and learning how to, take responsibility for meeting those needs, being with ourselves sometimes when things feel hard, and knowing how and when to ask for support. That's it. Simple enough, right? I'm being silly. But yes, parenting that inner child. Parenting that inner child and working with our nervous system to create new wiring. We can do it. We can do it. Well, Lynn, responsibility. I like to play with that word instead of it being a burden. It's actually response able. You can respond. You are able to respond. You are response able. Because I don't know about you, I felt powerless, right? I wasn't able to respond. I was powerless. Powerless over my childhood, powerless over my givers, how I was being treated, powerless over my body, powerless over my thoughts, over my feelings, over my shame. So once I realized no one is coming to save me, I'm going to take responsibility for this body, right? So that was empowering to me. I can respond because that's what life's all about. Life is hard. A lot of rough, hard stuff happens here. It's all about how are you going to respond to it? How are you going to respond to people, situations, life events? Was I going to continue to be stuck and, feeling powerless? But the more I learned about my body and the things that I could do, yes, I was outraged and pissed, as I'm not even going to go there, that no one was going to do this. This was unfair. Most of this wasn't my fault. And I got to have that feeling, that outrage and that anger. But it actually is what pushed me to take action. It moved my life force. I know you guys have seen me when I turn that on. It's like, I'm going to take responsibility for this moving forward. I can't change that. But this moving forward, I can do something about. Something sometimes I need help, right? But I can choose how to respond. I'm not a victim of my life today. So that's how I chose to reframe responsibility, because for so many of us, this comes up a few times here. When we hear responsibility, we hear blame. That's not at all what I'm talking about. So love, like you said, Rob, playing descriptive, I can't even say that, linguistics and different interpretations. Yes. And words have power. Yes. Letters spell words. Magic. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yes. That's why journaling is so powerful. That's why gratitude practices are powerful. If you can write out, what are you grateful for? What are you grateful for? What are you really grateful for? Even if it's, right, and I was about to say just this body, if you're just grateful for you, that was a huge win, because I was never grateful. I was the last thing I was grateful for. So, yes, words have power, and, you know, our focus and our intention. We direct energy. We direct energy. And for so many years, my energy went all into, I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't like this. This is, right, all of what I didn't want or like. And then, okay, what does Svava like? What is that Svava needs? What does bring me joy? What does make me happy? Because again, that's my job. No one can make me happy but me. So, yes, my friends, so much we can do. And it is worth doing. Yes, I hear you, Elizabeth. Anyone who relies on the descriptive in linguistic is usually seeking to undermine people and acting in bad faith. I hear you. I hear you. I would love to hear more about that, but that maybe would be a private post, or if you want to share that in our group, so to tell me more. So with that, my friends, I pulled a card for us today. I pulled the card. One day, she or he decided to plant a garden of her own, and it bloomed. So that's what we're doing. We are starting to plant our own gardens, right? What do we want in that garden? What are we planting? What thoughts? What needs? Yes. Yes. What friends? What garden are you building around you as friends? I think all of you guys are a garden. Lynn. You're funny, Lynn. All right, my friends. That's it for today. That's it for today. Looks don't count. Was that one yours, Lady Leo? You needed that one today? Beautiful. Beautiful. I was just thinking, I thought I'd pulled up a quote that I was going to share with you guys, and now I can't remember. I'll have to bring it up a different time. Yeah, I can't find it right now. So, well, thanks for being here. That's awesome, Lady Leo. Woohoo! That's awesome. So exciting. You just happened to catch us. Well, we are blessed. So thank you all for being here tonight, my friends, as always. All I know, I'm getting closer to who I want to be. Yes, yes, that's what we're doing. So thanks for the love and support to each other. Thanks for being here. And as always, please give me a thumbs up if this conversation supported you in any way this evening. And I look forward to seeing you next time. I'll be back here on Thursday. Same time, same place. Until then, have a good evening, everyone. Take care. Bye, friends.